Welcome to today's episode of the Life with Impact podcast. My name is Lasi Matshidiso, and I'll be your host for the series of She Can Be Anything. You can access all our podcast episodes on our website, Spotify, Apple, and on our YouTube channel, Impact Online. To start us off with, on this incredible series, we've got a seasoned entrepreneur and a franchise strategist with nearly 30 years of hands-on experience in business, marketing, and brand development. I'm 33, so that means you've been doing this since I was 3 years old, Bonnie.
That is correct. Yeah, you were a toddler.
I know. Her journey began in 1994 in a junior admin role, and through grit, agility, and a passion for learning, she has worked her way up, first into marketing and eventually into business ownership. Over the years, she's co-owned and operated several franchise brands, including Steers, Milky Lane, Blockbusters, and Roman's Pizza, where she also served as the Chief Marketing Officer for nearly 18 years. Today, she's focused on the national rollout of two proudly South African brands, Goddess, Café, and Miss Cake, which she plans to open over 20 locations across the country within the next 2 years. She also runs a BPD Advertising, a woman-led agency she founded over 17 years ago, serving a diverse portfolio of clients with creativity, strategy, and heart. Bonnie's leadership style is rooted in resilience, deep business understanding, and an unwavering commitment to service. Her personal mantra is get up, dress up, and show up. Bonnie believes success is built through consistency, humility, and showing up with excellence. Even when it's hard, she's passionate about mentoring young women in business and leaving a legacy of purpose-driven entrepreneurship. That is a mouthful, Bonnie.
Sure, yes.
And this is only just you. This is one person.
One person with a strong support team.
Okay, fair enough. How are you, Bonnie?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Lassie?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for coming and thank you for making time for us.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, shall we begin?
Yes, let's begin.
Are you nervous?
I'm always nervous when I do any form of an interview. I always tell people my left little pinky on my hand goes dead. I can't feel
Really?
it. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how I'm feeling right now, but within a few minutes, I'll be perfectly fine.
All right, that's fantastic. My first question for you. Can you describe what you do in one word?
Fierce.
Woo. Explain, please.
So I think I do everything with purpose. I always find that there has to be a purpose behind anything I do.
100%.
The only problem is I like to go from A to Z in literally 5 seconds.
Oh.
So often my team have to rein me in and say, just whoa, slow it down, just calm down a little bit. Let's do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
I listen for probably 5 minutes and then carry on to get to Z in literally 5 seconds. So fierce would be, I think if I had to explain it, if you did anything without fierce, perseverance, agility, flexibility, endurance, how do you get anywhere?
Yeah.
So you might start with that fierceness, but it's not fierce in an aggressive term.
Okay.
It's more assertive and passion. I'm very passionate about what I do. So I do things passionately and fiercely.
Oh my. And fiercely, I love it. Can you tell us about the industry that you're in? What exactly is it that you do?
All right, so I have a marketing background.
Okay.
That's what I studied, and that's what I've done for many, many, many years in franchising.
All right.
So I've always been in the franchising world. I didn't start off in franchising. I started in an IT company.
Okay.
And I used to look at the marketing manager. I'll never forget her. Her name was Felicia.
Okay.
And I always wanted to be her. And my boss at the time gave me that break. So I started as a receptionist. Very funny story. I got the job, but I had a week to learn Afrikaans.
What?
So my interview was Olga Kutsia
Okay.
and Marge Pienaar from a company called Technicare many, many years ago.
Right.
And I went for the interview and they loved me, but then they started to communicate in Afrikaans. And I was like, ja, ek weet, ja, dankie. And she said to me, so if somebody phones, how do you answer the phone?
Yeah.
So I would go, Technicare, goeiemôre, good morning.
Yeah.
And she said, and from there, I said, well, I'll converse in English. She said, no, sorry, it's got to be done in Afrikaans.
Oh my.
So I said to her, please, I really do want this job. I've really enjoyed the interview. And I went off and I had an Afrikaans friend. And her and her mother taught me how to answer a phone and speak in Afrikaans telephonically in a week. I went back for the interview and they started asking me questions. And I said, well, jammer, meneer Kuns is nie beskikbaar nie, kan ek 'n boodskap neem? And they looked at me and they said, really? I said, nee, hou net so 'n bietjie aan, ek sal uitvind en terug na jou kom toe. And they looked at me, and so it went. And somehow, and you know, the funny thing is, it's not that my father was completely Afrikaans.
Oh my goodness.
My father was Hendrik Ludewijk de Klerk.
It doesn't get more Afrikaans than Klerk.
Exactly. And here I came and I sat there going, ek verstaan nie Afrikaans nie. Anyway, I figured it out. So, and I did Afrikaans at school. I think the interview I was a little bit nervous, you know, so you sort of sit there going, I can't answer you. But I really wanted the job because I came from a company just down the road that was all women and the drama. Oh. And I was in the credit and invoicing department with all these women. I mean, it was a massive business owned by a Jewish family. And I just couldn't do these women. I couldn't. And I realized I cannot sit behind this desk ticking credit notes and invoicing for crockery, cutlery, and linen. So when this job opportunity came up, I was like, please, somebody help me. And I managed. And I got the job and I moved from being a receptionist into a junior secretary, then senior secretary, then into a marketing assistant position, and then finally into marketing.
Oh, my word.
Then not long after that, my boss's wife decided to buy Steers in Sunnyside and then open the Milky Lane in Brooklyn Mall.
Okay.
And they had just done a merger between two companies, and they paid us all out a lovely sum of money at a very young age. And I took that money and I said, right, I'll invest as a 30% shareholder. And that's what I did at the age of 22.
Oh my
and there my journey began in franchising, being a franchisee, and then I slowly moved into franchisor, and this is where I've ended up eventually. So I've worked hard, and I've made sure that I've got what I wanted, but it's by no means sitting back and waiting for something to happen. I had to go out there and get it, and I knew it was the only way, and that's what I did.
What at 22 says to you, take this lump sum money that you've just received and put it back into now being a franchisee, part of the franchise, investing in it? What at 22 says that? Because any normal 22-year-old, the first thing they think is getting a car or, you know, something out there, not that.
Well, you see, my career didn't start at 22. I started working at the age of 14 at the Spur in Kempton Park on Monument Road called Tucson Spur. The franchisees was Henry and Frank Capozario.
Okay.
I'll never forget them. I don't think they knew I was 14, but nevertheless, because you weren't supposed to be working. And for me in life, it was, we were a family of 4 children. So we were in an average household with a very hardworking mom as a housewife, and my father never missed a day of work. So for me, if I wanted those LA gears, if I wanted to use the telephone, if I wanted Flex shampoo and conditioner, you know, all those things, it wasn't, you couldn't just get it. We were 4 children.
Of course.
So for me, it was going to get a job and then taking the bull by the horns and saying, I'll buy those my own LA gears. I will pay the telephone so I can use it whenever I want to. You know, so that's where it started. And I looked at my mom and watched how my mom did things. You know, so it was black or it's white.
Yeah.
It's right or it's wrong.
Right.
And she always used to say to us, you cannot be half pregnant. So
I love your mom.
so if you're going to do it right. If you're going to make your bed, make it right. If you're going to wash the
100%.
windows, wash them properly.
Yes.
So that's how we were raised, to be disciplined and to be organized. And so that's how I've always been. So from 14 years old, I worked, and I've never had less than 3 jobs in my life, ever.
From 14.
From 14. Well, 14, I was at the Spur. The age of 16, I started working at a video shop. So I was the video shop on the weekend, the Spur in the weekend in the evening. Then I studied to be a kindergarten teacher, nursery school teacher. No, I have no patience. Didn't work. So I worked at a creche, and I worked at the Spur in the evening. On the weekends, I worked at a video shop. And so it went.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Bonnie. That is amazing. I don't think I've even ever had gotten to a place of having 2 jobs, let alone 3. So I'm quite inspired by this. What is your favorite part of what you do?
People. I believe
Really?
in people. If I look at any business, and for years, people would ask me when I was at Roman's Pizza, so you sell pizza for a living? And I go, no, I manage people for a living. So it takes people to manufacture the product. It takes people to take delivery,
Yes.
to take stock, to put
Yes.
it onto a truck, to
100%.
type an invoice, to deliver it to a store. The people in the store have to take delivery of it, count the stock, capture the stock. Then people have to use those raw products to actually make the pizza, to sell it to people.
Yes.
So everything is people orientated. So for me, if you cannot manage people, you cannot respect people, you cannot take each person individually, understand them. How do you run a business?
Oh my.
So for me, that's what it's always been, people. One of my other favorite mantras is respect is all that matters.
Please explain why you say that, Bonnie.
Because if I don't respect you, you won't respect me.
Yeah.
I cannot expect you to do something I'm not prepared to do. So that is how I work. So if I expect you to wash floors and clean cold rooms and clean your kitchen equipment, I must be able to do it with you. Otherwise, I shouldn't expect it of you.
That's true. Because also you do find a lot of the times when bosses or people who've just kind of been hired into high positions don't really know how to do the bottom things. But people who've started from the bottom know exactly how it is to want to be treated. So when you're at the bottom, you know that I don't like the way somebody uses their tone or how they address me. The moment you become a boss, you make sure to never make that mistake.
Absolutely. Look, sometimes your head does grow big and you do think you are better than other people. And I won't say that I've never done that. I was reined in very quickly when I joined Roman's Pizza. I had come from Famous Brands and I thought, well, I worked at Famous Brands. Does anyone know who Famous Brands is? I mean, they're a huge, massive business.
Yeah, yeah.
And in Romans, I was a bull in a china shop for the first 2 years until a franchisee said to me, do you realize how you're speaking to me? And I said, well, how am I speaking to you? You joined Roman's Pizza. It's a franchise. It doesn't say Paul's Pizza. It says Roman's Pizza. So these are the rules, and this is how you need to follow them. He said, but there's a way to say things. Stop being so bombastic. Stop being a bull in a china shop. And he said, do yourself a favor. When you go home this evening, he said, go look in the mirror and talk to yourself the way you spoke to me today, and let's see how it fares. And it's not that I'm not aggressive. A lot of people say I am. It's not. I'm assertive. I'm firm. I say things because I believe in them. I have a passion for what I'm saying.
Okay.
Sometimes I've got to say, whoa, hold on a second. You could be coming across as aggressive. And I really did that night. I went home, I looked in the mirror, and I spoke to myself the way I
And you
spoke
heard
today.
it.
And I was like, no, this is not working.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to gain respect if I've got this harsh, horrible attitude.
100%.
And I started to work on that and make sure that I treat people the way I want to be treated. And it took a while. It's not easy. I still learn things every day today.
Yeah, of course.
We recently did psychometric testing at Romans, and I was told that it's my way or no way. And I don't mean it like that. I mean, I'm very passionate about what I've got to say, and I want to get my message across. But I've learned to speak less and listen more.
Sure.
To really just sit and hear what everyone's got to say, and instead of voicing my opinion there and then, go and think about it and come back.
Yes.
And one big thing I've learned over the last 2 years is literally sometimes it's better just to keep quiet and walk away, which is something that's very hard for me.
I was going to say, did you not struggle with that quite a bit?
I'm still struggling, but I'm still working on it. So I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect.
That's good. That's good. There's grace in the fact that you want to work on it. There's a lot of grace in that.
Absolutely.
So now, when you're about to have for instance, you're with Goddess Café and Miss Cake. So prior to this now happening, the deal is you guys are busy drafting contracts and whatever the process behind it. Do you get scared?
Yes.
Before a big deal comes through or you're about to participate in the negotiations and so forth?
Very scared. Sometimes fear drives me more than anything else. But if you're not fearful of what you're doing, and if you have all the confidence in the world and you believe everything's just perfect and everything's going to work out, there's a problem.
100%, Bonnie, 100%.
So this deal, literally, I mean, it didn't fall into my lap.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for a business. So I resigned from Roman's Pizza in October last year, and I thought, okay, now's the time for me to go out and do what I want to do.
Okay.
And we looked at a lot of different businesses. And then I was told by a business broker that the owner of Goddess Café is looking for a buyer, but she will choose the buyer. That intrigued me.
Wow.
So off my sister, Kerry, and I went to this interview with this lady, and we sat down in one of her Goddess stores, and the first thing I thought is, sherbet, this place is so pink. This is so pink. And I'm not a girly girl, and I'm not a pink girl. I like pink, but I mean everything in Goddess Cafe is pink. And I sat with the lady, her name is Analda, and she spoke to us and we chatted, and I was myself, the same person I am. I speak with passion, I speak with vigor, I speak with purpose. I want to know, I've got questions. What questions do you have? Tell me about your business. How does it operate? And we walked out, and I was getting into my car, and the broker phoned and said she'd like you as a buyer.
No.
And so the deal just carried on from there.
Oh my goodness. What do you think impressed her?
I think my passion. I think I have a lot of passion
came
for what I
across.
do. Yes,
Yeah.
and I understand operations very, very well. I understand marketing very well. I believe in people, and I made that clear with her. My weakness. I often say it's my weakness, but I think it's something I sort of push aside. But I do understand it. Is numbers.
Okay.
I don't like finance. I don't like
You and
counting.
I
I like to
both-
spend the
I hate-
money.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
yes,
now I must
Bonnie.
count it as I spend it. But that's why I've got my sister Kerry, who's our
She's the
finance
number
director.
person.
Yeah. And the other thing I don't enjoy is human resources. So I don't enjoy having to sit with someone and say, well, now I've got to give you a warning. You know, I
Oh,
can't stand
okay.
doing things like that.
Okay.
I believe in humanity as well as humility. So if you've done something wrong, let's sit and discuss it. Obviously, business is business. So if
Sadly,
we've
there
had
has to be a consequence.
at some point I've got to hand out the warning.
Yeah.
So for me, I think what really drew her to me was the fact that I could see potential and growth in her brands that were her babies.
Okay.
I mean, she's grown them. She had them for 6 years. She put a lot of time and effort, a lot of creativity behind everything. And I think she wanted someone that was willing to take the brand to the next level, or
Yeah.
both brands. And she somehow saw that in me.
So Goddess Cafe and Miss Cake, two different entities, but by the same person.
Yes.
Were by the same person.
Correct.
So you guys bought both.
Yes.
Oh my, that's awesome.
And
How is the coffee and how is the cake?
It's awesome. So that was something for me because
Yeah.
my mom sadly passed 3 years ago, bless her soul, and she used to really bake banana loaf, an orange citrus cake, and chocolate cake. And they were decadent. So when we went into this business, the first thing I said to Kerry is, "Listen, we're tasting this cake."
Yeah, definitely.
And I said, they can't be as beautiful as they look. I mean, it's impossible, you know. All these places have the most beautiful looking cakes. So when you eat them, they're like, they're really not great. I've had my son's birthdays over the years, and they make the most beautiful creation, but you really can't eat them. So we started with the orange almond gluten-free cake.
Gluten-free.
Yes. And it's still my favorite. It was delicious. My next favorite's the red velvet. So all the cakes are very moist, very flavorsome. They taste as good as they look. The coffee, the brand we use is Tribeca.
Okay.
Really good coffee brand. Our customers love it. And I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I will have a cappuccino with a drop of vanilla syrup every morning. And they've converted me. I love coffee.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing, actually. And what do you think is the hardest part of your job?
People.
Again.
As much as I love people, and I believe people are the center in the universe of any business, specifically mine. I mean, we've got our cake ladies, our barmen, our baristas, our pizza guys,
Yes.
our chefs, our scullers, our function ladies, our waiters, our servers, our managers. It's the easiest part because I really love people, but it's also the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know, managing people is not easy. You've got different personalities.
Yes.
You know, we've got different problems that come with it. And you've just got to sit back and say, all right, so firstly, we are running a business. But secondly, you know, not everybody has life easy.
Yeah.
So you need to
Yeah,
listen.
that's
You need
true.
to listen.
Have you fired someone since you started?
Yes.
What happened?
Not really fired. So I don't like that word. I think it's a very strong word.
Okay.
I have a conversation and I give the person the opportunity to resign. It's something I've never enjoyed. That's why I said I don't like human resources.
100%.
So I'll explain what the business expects of them and what the business is going to expect, and that it's going to get harder, and there are more controls and policies and procedures that need to be followed, specifically when it comes to stock control. And I allow them the opportunity to say, listen, look at yourself and say, right, we've got to this point where we are not doing that well together. It's not going to get any easier. What would you like to do? You know, and I've had a few resignations. We bought the business on the 1st of March. I've had a couple of resignations. And I think it's, the culture of a business changes with a new owner.
100%.
And I do run the business quite fiercely. There comes that word again, where there's a lot of controls in place and things need to be done a certain way. And sometimes it doesn't suit personalities. So those resignations I've had to accept. But life goes on, and there are many people in South Africa looking for work.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so
100%.
so then we just look for the right person to replace the resignation, and I'm going to call it resignation, whether they freely resigned or whether it was an agreement that we came to.
All right. So now, with you being a speaker at the Lasi Matshidiso Foundation, can you tell me how you got involved with the foundation? How did you find out about them? What happened? What's the behind the scenes story with you and BBM?
So Antoinette and Harmony approached us when I was at Roman's Pizza, and we helped wherever we possibly could with pizza donations and doing pizza for lunch on a day, or wherever we could help them. And subsequently, since I've left, they found me. And Antoinette is also, and she might not like the word I do, because I think the word fierce it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative connotation.
Not at all.
She's very persistent. She runs her foundation with purpose, a lot of purpose, and she does fantastic work with the ladies. In actual fact, I've got one of her ladies who was a maitre d' at Goddess Café, and I promoted her to an assistant manager. And one evening after a stock take, we had a conversation, and she told me that she comes from BBM, and I said, "What?
Oh
no,
my goodness!"
And this is what Antoinette and her daughters have done. I mean, Gladness is a wonderful manager, wonderful, and I saw that in her as a maitre d', and I thought, how can I make her life better? And how does she serve a purpose in my business? And when I looked at her, exactly what we are talking about now, she can be anything, was Gladness.
Oh my!
And when I figured out, found out where she came from, I was astounded, but also not surprised, because if she was under Antoinette's leadership, then this is what Antoinette creates. She creates people and women that can be anything. And I believe that is a fantastic mantra.
So when they found you, then they said, "Bonnie, we want to take you into this part of the journey."
Yes, and I was more than happy to join them and to help them again wherever I possibly can. They don't always come to you looking for money, and that's what I love about Antoinette and her daughters. They're looking for support, they're looking for encouragement, they're looking for women in business that can also help those that they are teaching. Give them the inspiration and aspire to be anything.
So how does that resonate with you, the she can be anything theme? How do you feel it resonates with you?
Well, because I have become anything. I've become what I want to be. If
Felicity.
Felicity. If I put my mind to something, I make sure that I achieve it. Sometimes it's not exactly what I want it to be, but I always find that it doesn't necessarily have to be what your mind had created. It will be what it has to be. So sometimes you got to let things be, which is very hard for me, because I know what I want from A to Z. I know it. That's what I want.
So the controlling of
what I have learned over the last couple of years is sometimes you can't have everything exactly the way you want it. It will turn out the way it needs to be.
That's
so
true.
She can be anything. To me, is something any woman should aspire to, any young lady, any young entrepreneur. You can be anything, but it doesn't come with sitting back and expecting it to happen. It comes with hard work, focus, agility, flexibility, and purpose.
So with what you've just said now, with she can be anything, Are you in the business of mentoring? Is that something that you do with, I don't know, any young ladies, or other than working with something like BBM? Is there something else that you're doing with mentoring, or is that your main way of how you're being able to give back with wanting women in business and leadership and so forth?
Well, I think with us employing over 120 staff members, of
Whoa.
which 90% of them are women, I think charity starts at home,
Yes.
and at home being my business. If I look at all my managers and my assistant managers, my cake ladies, my kitchen staff, my servers, I think I give them a sense of purpose every
Yeah.
single day.
Definitely.
I get up, dress up, and show up. I'm present in my business. I am there. So I think the inspiration starts within each of our cafes.
Yeah.
And until I can get all of them where they want to be, it's not
Yes.
necessary at this point to go and look to do it anywhere else.
So can you give an ending of an encouragement or words that have carried you through other than your mantra? What is it that when you were 22 and you saw Felicity and you knew you wanted, what was it that kept you going?
The fact that you cannot sit back and expect anything to be given to you on a golden platter, or expect your life to be any different if you don't get up and go and do it.
Right.
So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a
the
different
same
result. You're never going to get a different result if you do not change the way you do things.
Yes.
So to the younger me, I would say, slow down. Life doesn't have to be so fast-paced. To the younger me, I would say, speak less and listen more. To the younger me, I'd say walk away from people that don't want you in their lives or give you the same respect or the same attention that you give them. To the person I am today, I would say slow down. Because we are in a rat race. We get up every morning, and often I say we do the same thing every single day, and I'm going to go back to the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
So you cannot get up at 5:15, pack lunch boxes, get kids ready for school, get yourself dressed, get in the car, drop them at school, get to one of the shops, do the same thing, get home in the afternoon, cook supper, check lunch boxes, check uniforms, check homework, get into bed. If you're going to continue to do that, it's the definition of insanity. You're doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So how I try and find balance between work and my personal life and family time,
Yes.
which is very important. And that's what I tell any young person is work hard, but play hard too. Playing doesn't mean partying, going out, drinking, going to clubs. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the relaxation you need in your life. So spend time with your family as much as you can. Listen to your family. No phone time. That's very
Yes,
important.
yes.
Spend time outside in nature. Feel the soil and the earth under your feet. Try. Do some sport, any form of sport, and just enjoy life. Enjoy it. Enjoy it as much as you possibly can. Because when you look again, you are 50. And you're wondering sometimes where your life went. But if you've taken cognizance of that, slow down and enjoy.
This was amazing. Bonnie, you are something out of a movie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is fantastic. I just have one last question. This is like a teaser. What is it that you do to relax? Because I don't know. I don't see you taking off your shoes and walking in the grass.
I don't generally like the
I thought so.
sand between my toes. I love beach sand between my toes.
Okay.
But what I do is I play tennis with my husband.
Really?
So we try very hard to play 3 times a week.
Okay.
But we do get in twice a week, Saturday afternoon, Sunday mornings.
Okay.
And then often on a Sunday we'll play with the boys. The boys will come into the tennis court.
Okay.
Very frustrating because, I'm a control freak.
Of course.
And hit the ball that way, do this, don't do that.
You're not enjoying it anymore.
No. So, but again, I've learned to slow down.
Okay.
So tennis is my go-to. I love playing tennis. Love it. I love the sea.
Yeah.
I believe the ocean sets my soul free.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
So I love to go to the sea and I love to travel. I love to
I think
travel.
all things nature are just very soothing, right? It's something that comes with nature that makes you at ease as a person. So I agree with you.
Absolutely.
So where to from here? What is in Miss Goddess, Miss Cake, and Goddess Cafe? What are the plans?
So we've just opened a new Miss Cake in Watermeyer Park,
Oh, that's
shopping
fantastic.
centre that opened on the 25th of June.
Okay.
And then I've just revamped a mini refresh at Miss Cake in Waterkloof.
Okay.
And we have a couple of shops lined up, cafes, Goddess cafes, that will
Okay.
open before the end of this year.
That's
So for
awesome.
sure 2, and then maybe the new year we'll do another 2 or 3. So
Okay.
we are looking at expanding. We have franchisees lined up, which is great.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so we are
fantastic.
growing. But again, like I said earlier on, slow down. Things don't need to be done so quickly. And the slower you do them, the more thorough you are, the more attention to detail that you pay. So that's where we
100%.
are. But right now, I'm going to a shop straight after this to work.
And on the 9th of August, you will be at the Lasi Matshidiso
Yes, I
Foundation.
will be.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing you
Thank
there.
you very much. Thank you so
Thank
much for your time,
you.
Lasi. I've really enjoyed it.
Me
Thank you.
too, Bonnie. You are a star. When I grow up, you're my Felicity. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
looking at you now.
Perfect. There we go.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you so much.
All right, then.
Okay.